Now, we're filming here live on Monday afternoon of free agency. It's about 3:30 p.m. Central Time. A lot of stuff could change, but we're going to answer all these questions to the best of our abilities. And if you want even more coverage about the NBA 24/7, make sure you subscribe to Chat Sports, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. We're continuing to grow like crazy. We want to get you updated on all things NBA all the time. So hit that big red subscribe button and turn on your notifications. First question coming in from MJ to Goat 23. Who will be the next big player traded? It's a good question. And because we haven't seen a lot of big names being swapped around. The biggest name that got traded this offseason so far has been Chris Paul. Outside of that, there has not been a lot of player movement in terms of free agency. And I'm a bit surprised because some of the guys that I thought would be traded by now have not been moved. You know, John Wall of the Washington Wizards is a guy that we've at least talked about quite a bit, or that has, at least been discussed in trade things, but they're saying, nope, he's not going anywhere. Russell Westbrook and James Harden, both Houston Rocket players that haven't been moved yet, but are continuing to be shopped around in rumors. Victor Oladipo of the Indiana Pacers, he's the one of two Pacers that I think could get moved. I think Miles Turner could be the other one. And then one guy that's not as big of a name, but a guy that I think is definitely going to get traded is Buddy Hield of the Sacramento Kings. But that's my short little list. I think there's a lot more names that I didn't even mention. I want to know what your list is. Name a player, at least one, that you think will be traded this offseason. Actually, you know what? Be bold about it. Name one player that you know is going to get traded this offseason. What I'm going to do, if you're watching this right now, you're probably going to get hit with a YouTube ad break. So I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. You just scroll down and name me a player that you know is about to get traded before the NBA season gets going on December 22nd. Clay Putoff coming with the question says, should the Nuggets trade for Aaron Gordon to replace Jeremy Grant? Listen, you brought back JaMychal Green, you brought in JaMychal Green, and you brought back Paul Millsap. That's pretty solid, but the loss of Jeremy Grant's going to really hurt this team. I don't know if I'm willing to give up some of the pieces that I think the Magic would require to get Aaron Gordon in a trade. I don't know exactly what they want right now, but I feel like it would have to include a Michael Porter Jr. or an RJ Hampton or a Bol. And in that case, I'm not doing it. If it's too pricey, if it costs you too many draft picks, or, recent draft picks, I'm not doing it as of right now. So, I think it'd be a good replacement, but I don't think it'd be a good replacement for the price that it might cost. Let's go to Ryan Cantero. How will KD do this year? Listen, Kevin Durant coming off the Achilles injury, going to the Brooklyn Nets. We'll see him in his first action since the Golden State Warriors. I think he's going to be a top 10 player again. I don't think he's MVP Kevin Durant, but I think he's pretty darn close. I think he's still, one of the best scorers in the NBA. I'm not ready to say he's going to be what he once was, but I still think he's going to be an all-star. And I think that's really all you can ask of a guy coming off an Achilles injury that was once a top 5 player. So I'm not ready to say that he will be, MVP Kevin Durant, top 5 player in the NBA, but he's definitely not an all-star this next offseason. Pebbles Girardi says, should the Golden State Warriors trade for Aaron Gordon or Buddy Hield? I think either one would be awesome fits on that team, but how are you going to get them? Are you willing to give up Andrew Wiggins to get either of those guys? I don't know if I am. I don't know if Aaron Gordon or Buddy Hield are much of, or even a little bit of an upgrade from Andrew Wiggins. Outside of that, you don't have a lot of trade chips on this team. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves pick next year, but you're $80 million in salary cap debt basically right now. That's not good. That's a lot of money. And trading for Aaron Gordon and Buddy Hield would only put you further in that if it doesn't include a Kelly Oubre, a Draymond Green, or an Andrew Wiggins. And I'm not sure any of those guys are worth giving up to get either Aaron Gordon or Buddy Hield. That's just my personal opinion. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Crazy Cody coming in says, are the Hornets a playoff team? No, they're not. Listen, Devontae Graham, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, those are 3 fun young guards. Gordon Hayward, even if Gordon Hayward is Utah Jazz Gordon Hayward, the team around him is not good enough. I like Miles Bridges. I like Malik Monk. I like LaMelo Ball. I guess that's really it. Other than that, this team is not ready to compete for the playoffs. Now, if they go out and trade for a Russell Westbrook, if they trade Rozier and Graham and get Russell Westbrook and go with a Westbrook, LaMelo, Gordon Hayward kind of trio, and you get a real big man that's not Cody Zeller or Bismack Biyombo, sure, maybe. But that's a lot of ifs. And in the Eastern Conference, I know it's not that strong, but it's stronger than it once was. And if I'm Charlotte, I'm tanking for one more year. You wait until you can get a guy like an Evan Mobley out of USC who could be a big man that could come in and start for you right away. Just tank it out one more year if you're Charlotte and just hope for the best. Don't go for a win now with Gordon Hayward. It's not worth it. But one thing that is worth it is going and getting yourself a mask from chatsports.com/NBA mask. Because with the season a little under, a month away, we're going to be back in NBA stadiums before you know it. And you're going to have to wear a mask when you go in. So you might as well rep your favorite team by going to chatsports.com/NBA mask. You're like, Jimmy, I don't want to pay for that. It's not worth it. I'll just wear my gross little surgical mask that you've been wearing for the last, 6 months at this point. No, go get a nice one that you can throw in the wash every single day and that you can rep your favorite team with. And guess what? They're 30% off. So there's no better time to do it than right now. Chatsports.com/NBA mask. Best place to go for your team masks. Tyler Burbeck's got a little super chat coming in. Will the Warriors sign Jeremy Lin? Tyler Burbeck is obsessed with Jeremy Lin, and he is obsessed with the Golden State Warriors, so I appreciate your obsessions. It goes a long way, and we're here to answer your question. The answer is no. They just signed Brad Wanamaker. They just drafted Nico Mannion. They have Steph Curry. That's your three-guard rotation right now. You don't really need a fourth guy in there, and if you do, just bring back Kai Bowman. If you really needed another guard, why would you have cut Kai Bowman in the first place? You don't. That's the simple answer. You roll with what you got in Steph and Brad Wanamaker as your two main guys. You hope Nico Mannion can kind of pan out as well, and I think he will. He can play either guard position. I just don't think it's worth it to bring in Jeremy Lin at this point. I mean, you just don't really need to quite yet. Ayush Vats says, who's a threat for the Lakers this season? In all reality, it's the Lakers championship to lose, if I'm being honest. Now, the Clippers are still a second-place team to me. They are still second in the West. And the addition of Serge Ibaka, I think it kind of makes up for the loss of Montrezl Harrell. Some people are even saying they would rather have Serge Ibaka than Montrezl Harrell, so I don't blame you. I think the Clippers are your only team. The Bucks have gotten deeper, but they're still not. I still don't think they can compete with the Lakers. So I'll say the Clippers and maybe the Milwaukee Bucks. Jeff O'Baller says, since Donovan Mitchell is everyone got their money for Utah, what does it mean for Gobert? Could he get traded? Jeff, kind of confused me on the first part of your sentence, but for Gobert, I think if he says at the trade deadline, he's like, listen, guys, I'm gone anyway. I'm leaving in free agency. Yeah, he definitely could get traded. I don't think he's traded this offseason, but I do think the regular season a trade is very viable for a better fit between Donovan Mitchell and somebody else in the middle. But I don't think he's getting traded until the regular season. Splash Edits coming in with the super chat says, could the Golden State Warriors trade for Westbrook or Wall and run one at the 2 spot? Absolutely not. There's no reason to trade for either of those guys. Do you want Russell Westbrook taking the ball out of Steph Curry's hands? Do you want Russell or John Wall taking the ball out of Steph Curry's hands? No, you don't. Absolutely not. There's no reason to do this. There's no reason to give up a guy like Andrew Wiggins or Draymond Green to get any of those guys, or even a James Wiseman or a Nico Mannion. I wouldn't do that. So no, you do not trade for John Wall or Russell Westbrook. If you're the Warriors, you don't trade for a point guard at all. You roll with what you got and see what happens. Maybe they're a 7th seed, but they're going to make the Western Conference playoffs one way or another. They're probably just not going to be as good because Klay Thompson's out. Jack Aceto says, do the Celtics sign anyone else or make a trade for another role player? As of right now, man, I think the Celtics are set. You just signed Tristan Thompson. You just signed Jeff Teague. You drafted Aaron Nesmith. I guess you really like Peyton Pritchard if you're the Celtics, even though I personally didn't love that trade or that draft pick. But this rotation's good. It's set. Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Daniel Tice, Robert Williams, Tristan Thompson, Jeff Teague, and now Aaron Nesmith. I like that team. It is, it's still an Eastern Conference Finals playoff team, if you ask me, if everything goes right and everyone stays healthy. I think there's a lot more moves to be made for the Boston Celtics. You lost Wanamaker. That is what it is. You lost Gordon Hayward. It is what it is. It opens up more time for the young wings. Let's go to the super chat from Nam Lee. Josh Richardson for all NBA defensive team. Man, that'd be good for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if he's quite to that level, but I think his versatility really, really helps this Dallas Maverick team because he can guard 1s, 2s, and 3s. And the guy's 6'6". I know people were like, oh, he's a shooting guard. Why did the Mavs get another guard? The Mavs shooting guards are like 6'4", 6'3". Josh Richardson's 6'6". He can guard guys like Dorian Finney-Smith we're having to guard as well that are smaller. So I'm not ready to say he's all defense, but if he takes this Mavs team, who is 18th in defensive efficiency, up to, let's say they jump into the top 10 or heck, even top 5 next season, which I think is kind of crazy. If they jump up that high, he definitely deserves quite a bit of consideration for an all-defensive team. I'm not ready to put him there yet. We kind of have to wait and see how the season goes. But if you want to keep up with more Mavs coverage, youtube.com/allthingsmavs. Go hit that subscribe button. Got all the best Mavs coverage on the internet all the time. Let's go to Stay Mellow. Which rookie makes the biggest immediate impact? That's a good question because, you have the long-term guys, the guys like Anthony Edwards that would, take a little bit longer to develop, the guys like LaMelo Ball that'll take a little bit longer to develop, the guys like Patrick Williams and even, potentially Onyeka Okongwu, all guys that in the long term could be better than some of the guys immediately. But some of the more immediate guys that come to mind, I still have Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball up there. You think of what Anthony Edwards can do right off the bat. He fits perfectly into that rotation. I think he comes in right away, and you expect him to be a, 14 to 15 point per game kind of guy. LaMelo Ball, he steps in right away as a starting point guard in Charlotte. Maybe he doesn't average that many points, but he makes that offense better and more efficient. James Wiseman, and I know you're like, Jimmy, you just picked the top 3 guys. Well, it's because it's true. Wiseman fits a perfect need for the Warriors at the center position. I think they still should have gone with Okongwu, but hey, Wiseman works as well. And then, some of my other guys, more wild card here. Tyrese Halliburton was the 12th pick of the Sacramento Kings. I think he's one of the most NBA-ready players. And then Deni Avdija is going to be asked to probably start as a Washington Wizard and do a lot of things that a lot of rookies aren't asked to do right now. Avdija is going to make a huge impact. But who do you think will win 2021 Rookie of the Year? And it's not maybe any of those guys that are on that list. In fact, my answer is going to be Obi Toppin of the New York Knicks. You're like, why wasn't he on your list? Because I don't think he's going to impact winning that much, but he's going to put up the numbers to be a 2021 Rookie of the Year. And he has a chance in New York to really do that. I love Obi Toppin. I wish his defense was a little bit better, but at the end of the day, you watch that kid play, it looks like the second coming of Blake Griffin on the offensive end, but you guys can shout out who you think will win 2021 Rookie of the Year.